I'm James, a knee, foot and ankle specialist, and today we're going to talk you through the best running shoes for flat feet. We're going to break them down into types of stability, cushioning, how they fit, whether they're too wide or too narrow. We'll discuss what difference the type of stability and cushioning can make if you've got flat feet and you've got pain, or if you just want extra support. Please keep in mind all information in the videos for educational purposes only, shouldn't substitute medical advice. So the first thing that we're going to talk you through today is the type of support that you get in each type of shoe. So unique support in all four shoes, and that's why we chose them for you. So in the first one, the Hoka Arahi 6, it's got a J-frame support. So you can see the darker piece of cushioning here versus the whiter cushioning here. The darker one's a bit denser, so when you apply pressure to it, it doesn't sink in as much. So if you have a flatter foot and you struggle to control pronation moments moving inward, then it provides some resistance all along the inside of the shoe rather than just underneath the arch. In contrast to that, in the Asics Gel-Kayano 30, it's moved away slightly from putting a pronounced arch support under the foot. It's got a new 4D guidance system, so as you can see, it's got a smaller support underneath the arch of your foot that helps elevate it, and some people enjoy that little bit of support. It's created a wider base to give you more stability underneath your foot, and it's got a heel bevel that helps provide more contact with the ground. Complete opposite to the other two types of shoes in terms of stability is the Brooks Adrenaline GTS 23, and it provides support by creating a guide rail system along either side of the foot, and that helps to reduce motion from side to side. So it limits how much you can move inward and how much you can move outward, trying to guide your foot throughout the whole gait cycle. And then finally, the New Balance 860 V13 has a very traditional type of medial arch support in that it's thicker on the inside than it is on the outside, so tilt your foot out slightly and it gives some support underneath the arch of your foot, which some people really enjoy if they've got a flatter foot or they're looking for some extra support underneath the arch of the foot. In terms of cushioning, we've got some variants throughout, so we've got a little bit of firmer cushioning in the Hoka Arahi 6 and in the Brooks, so we typically recommend them for middle distance to faster running paces. It's a bit plusher in the Gel-Kayano 30, and what that means is it feels like you're sinking into a cloud, so as you apply pressure to it, you tend to sink into it before moving back out, so a little bit less responsive than perhaps the Brooks. And then somewhere in the middle of these two is the New Balance, which has a relatively responsive type of cushioning, but still quite nice and soft. In terms of fit, we find that the New Balance has a nice wide toe box, so the aspect where your forefoot sits, it's nice and spacious, so it allows your toes to spread as you walk, stand or run. In contrast to that, the Brooks and the Arahi 6 tend to fit slightly narrower in the toe box, and the Brooks tends to fit a little bit shorter overall, whereas the Gel-Kayano tends to have a true to fit size and a normal fit in the toe box. In terms of weight, the New Balance comes in at the heaviest by the Asics, then the Brooks, and then despite having a super thick midsole, the Arahi 6 is super light, so the lightest of all four shoes. Then in terms of heel to toe drop, which refers to the difference in height from the back to the front of the shoe, so a slight tilt or pitch, this can be influential if you have stuff like a painful Achilles or you have painful forefoot conditions like a Morton's neuroma or metatarsal joint pain. The higher the pitch, the more pressure it puts onto your forefoot. So in the Brooks, it's got the highest of all four shoes. It's got a 12mm difference from the back to the front of the shoe. In the Asics and in the New Balance, it's got a 10mm heel drop, and then a super low heel drop for a stability shoe in the Hoka Arahi 6. To try and summarize that for you, what we've got is a very traditional medial arch support in the New Balance 860. It's a little bit heavier but has a nice wide fit in the toe box. In the Brooks, you have the guide rail system to support your foot on either side. It's got a 12mm heel drop, a little bit heavy and a little bit shorter than what you typically expect, so you might need to size up by half a size. The Gel-Kayano uses its 4D guidance system, has a little bit of arch support, a wider base, and tries to give support throughout the shoe. It's a true to fit size. And then finally, you've got the Hoka Arahi 6. It's typically a narrower fit in the toe box. It's got a 5mm heel drop, so nice and low. If you've got forefoot conditions, that's helpful. And it's super light, providing stability throughout the inner aspect of the shoe using their J-frame. The Hoka do come in a bigger size, so they come in D or EE. So if you do have a wider foot, there is options there available, but just keep in mind with the classic version it's slightly narrow. If you have any questions on these shoes, please leave them in the comment section. And if you found the video helpful, please like and subscribe to our channel. We've got lots of information on different exercises for flat feet and different shoes for different conditions.